had this dream. I still kind of have this dream, just differently now. But the dream was to walk 900 miles from Salt Lake City to Bandon, Oregon. And I was giving myself 3 months, 10 miles a day minimum. And I began that journey in July. July 1st, I began it. And I had been preparing for it too, getting my endurance up, walking. Never, I believe, an actual 10-mile day, but the first day I did 16.45 miles. So I can do a 10-mile day. And the next two, I got in 30 miles, so I averaged 10 miles a day. And then things changed, and none of it was any in my control. It was the people I was going with. Roy became sick. Well, he was sick through the walk and required a bathtub, and we weren't going to be in places where bathtubs were going to be available. And then her shoes were problematic, so she needed to get new shoes. Then her wallet came up missing. So these are all things that, kind of deterred it, slowed it. I thought it was a time issue. So now I'm on this epic journey, an adventure, spontaneous, what have you. We ended up going to Wells, or I think Carlin, Wells, Nevada. Stayed with a friend, a new friend for me. Then we went to Lake Tahoe. Actually swam in Lake Tahoe. That was a first. Then we went to a crater lake, not the crater lake, but a crater lake in California. That was a first. Went to Mount Shasta. Stayed a few nights in a hotel, and so we've gotten 2 nights in of camping, and now we're in a hotel again in Mount Shasta. Then we take off to go to the Redwoods. We go camping in the Redwoods for 3 nights, and then we get some more hotels. Okay, I was prepared for a homeless lifestyle, and that is absolutely the furthest from what I was receiving. I was getting a awesome vacation, and it was magic. It was pure magic. And at the time, I still thought the walk was going to happen. At this point, we realized how severely that a CPAP machine was needed for my co-travelers. And so they ordered a generator in Mount Shasta to be delivered to the hotel in Mount Shasta. That was when we went to the Redwoods. So after the Redwoods, we came back to Mount Shasta, and we ended up camping there, I think for 3 nights, by Lake Siskiyou in their campground. And we met some phenomenal people, and then the shipment came, but the shipment didn't come. I mean, the actual power pack that was needed for the CPAP machines didn't come. Only some solar panels came. And that was not going to happen. So the walk kind of got canceled, and we were heading to Bandon, Oregon, and I had a friend that I was going to meet that day, and I was so upset. We just passed all the exits without any word that we're just going, and I was so upset. Then we got into Springfield, Oregon, and I wasn't able to control my emotions, so I left so that they could have their time and not be affected by. I can't hide my emotions. And Then it turned into kind of a little solo thing for myself, which was good because then I did a lot of journaling and self-counseling. And I realized a lot of things. I realized a lot of things by talking with Phoenix and Emily also. I have food triggers, and it happens in the grocery store, and it happens in restaurants, and we have determined it comes from me growing up and a lack. I never had choices, and then I go into these places and I have so many choices that it's just an overwhelm, and I gotta escape, and I flee. So I don't do a lot of grocery shopping anymore. Food is not my number one priority, and it is something I'm working with. I want a good relationship with food, and I guess that's where my foraging comes in. But anyway, my trip at the time was absolutely furthest from anything I had imagined it would be. First 3 days, it did happen. And I might have enjoyed it, I might not have enjoyed it, but the point was to meet the parts of myself that I avoid all the time. And I still have to do that. I am going to take myself out into the woods alone, and I think we're going to start out with like a family adventure, then bring them back and then go. But I'm learning lots. Everything's out of my control, and basically I was wondering, what magic do we not see because we are so addicted to being miserable because it didn't go our way? And I found myself in that situation a lot of times, and there were a lot of missed opportunities because when I was feeling sorry for myself, I was in an Airbnb all by myself. Then it finally clicked, but then I started doing my bubble baths. Then I started going out and exploring the world again. But I get into this paralysis. So what do you do when you find yourself in disappointment? Do you let the magic pass you by, or do you catch it and start participating again? I love you. Have the most magical day.